Hey, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce, and the #1 reporter for the Compton Chronicles. I'm a busy boy. Hey, folks, right about now, it's time for the elections for the Harbor Gateway North elections. Sitting next to me is a young lady who's running for the chair of the Harbor Gateway North elections. We call them Moma Boo. We know a government name. You want to give me a government name too?
Absolutely, Nakisha Scott.
Nakisha Scott, folks. She is here today to talk about her platform and why she's running for Harbor Gateway North chair. Talk to us, Nakisha.
Well, hey, as you guys know, now my name is Nakisha Scott. A lot of people do call me either Moma Boo or Miss Boo. I'm actually running for the chair for Harbor Gateway North. So yeah, that's why we're here today.
Now, how long have you been in pursuit of this seat?
If you remember, 2 years ago, I was running for the community organization representative.
Okay.
So that's originally how I found out about Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council. So with that being said, I did run for the community organization representative. I did not win. So what I did was turn the negative feeling into a positive. So I actually presently is the chair of the bylaws committee, the vice chair of the homeless committee, and also I'm on the youth committee.
Okay. Now, what qualifies you to be the chair of the Harbor Gateway North Committee?
What qualifies me is I'm actually doing the work right now. I'm not asking for someone to put me in position or vote for me to find out or figure out how to help the community. Okay. As you know, I have a nonprofit, Live Your Life, which I've been running that nonprofit within the Harbor Gateway North for a little over 2 years. Okay. So we'll say that I've been passing out food about 2.5 years to date. I've only missed 9 Saturdays. Okay. As well as hiring ages 14 to 24.
Okay.
And that's more like a summer job. So what it is, they have tier 1 and tier 2. So with tier 1, those are the people, the young adults that are in school. So we'll say 14 to 18 or 24 if they're in school or if they're in college. Then that's tier 1, so they get 180 hours, and the pay is $16.05.
Okay.
So tier 2 would be 18 to 24, just regular people that do not go to school, and that's 300 hours.
300 hours. Okay. All right. I've used that program before. I like that a lot. Tier 1, tier 2, 300 hours. I like both programs. I've used both of them here in the studio. I'm looking to hire some more folks, especially during the summertime, to help with some of these productions. What is the duties of the chair of the Harbor Gateway North?
I mean, one could define it many different ways, but the chair is, as you know, the chair would be someone that's at the top that actually more so get the information out to the committee and vote on different things. I would say the chair for me would be bringing more information into the community, where the neighborhood council, for us to actually vote to help and give back to the community.
Okay. Help and give back in what way?
I mean, we have a big homeless issue right now.
Okay.
So with that being said, I have a connection with Hopix and with LASA. But a lot of people don't know is in 2022, I did actually help house 5 families, 5 women that had kids under the age of 12.
Okay.
So I have 5 families that has been put into housing, and how it goes with the 5 that I helped. The first 3 months rent free, and I know 2 of the ladies went out towards Santa Monica, so it's some new apartments that they're in.
Okay.
3 months free, and then whatever you put in your bank account after that 3 months, they will match that. Or if you're still having difficulties, they'll push the time back. So, but you will have to, be serious, because I deal with a lot of people on an everyday basis almost, but for sure on Saturdays. And then I've been on numerous cleanups within the last 2 years. And you have people that want housing, but they're not ready for the rules and the regulations of moving and actually being somewhere that they have rules and regulations. They prefer to be on the street. So you have a lot of people that say they want it, and then when push comes to shove, it's like, oh no, I don't want to move all the way over there. But at the end of the day, if you need a roof over your head, you're going to move almost anywhere. So that'd be a little conflict, where we've done a lot of encampment cleanup.
Okay.
And it's like, well, why you guys are just moving the people from here and shuffling them around. And it's like, no, we have LASA there, we have Hopics there, we have sometimes a medical team there that help with like wound care and different things like that. So the services are there and available. It's to each his own if they actually want the services.
Now, what area are you referring to far as what's considered Harbor Gateway North?
Between Vermont and Figueroa. So if we say from where I'm at, I'm on Figueroa, El Segundo. So you go all the way down to about Imperial. Okay. You go right, go down to Central. You come back down to, what is it, Central and 120th. You boomerang back around. That's like an L shape. Okay. And then you go all the way down Vermont and Figueroa all the way to 190th. So all of that.
That's a strange layout.
Yeah. It's an L shape going, what is that, north. So once you get like Imperial, you turn and then you come around to Central, then you come back down 120th and you meet.
So that area has a lot of homeless, a lot of businesses.
It's a lot of homeless, more than people actually know.
I don't know who's in charge of the corridor between east, north, and south of Vermont, but after you cross Century, it turns into the city dump.
Mm-hmm. In our area, Harbor Gateway North, we have about 65 kids that's out there, homeless kids.
Homeless kids. Mm-hmm. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see something. Yeah. If the parents couldn't provide for them, they take them out and put them in foster care.
No, I've been on a situation where there was a call made and the police and everything showed up, and it was actually a baby left in a car. And we found out about it, got there, and the baby actually was about 2 years old. Mm-hmm. The parents came back maybe about 30, 40 minutes after being right there, but the baby was already in the car by himself prior to that. And police showed up, whatever. They did not want to call children's services, no nothing. The parents came back extremely high and drove off with the baby.
High and all?
High. I'm talking about high.
Kind of how you think it was?
I can't even say it. I don't know. It was like, for one, that's a safety hazard for the baby, for one. But for one, before you even get to the drive off with the baby, you left the baby in a car at nighttime. It was like midnight or something like that.
But I'm trying to figure out if the parents is obviously high and they have an accident, wouldn't the police be responsible for that?
They didn't want to deal with that issue that night.
Well, since when they get to choose,
actually,
when do you get to choose when you want to deal with the law or not?
I guess within this community, one can choose, but that's where the neighborhood council come in at to make sure that these kids and these families are off the street as much as possible and are taken care of. We just had a homeless count a couple of months ago, and a man, a woman, and their 8-year-old son. The mother was recently blind.
Okay.
The husband, they all was homeless. We had a room full of neighborhood council people, as well as some of the people from different council, what I'm saying, their deputies or what have you was in that room. And at the end of the day, it boiled down to me, David, and Fabiola finding them somewhere to go for that night. And since then, they've been able to get treatment and different other things. But we had a room actually of neighborhood council people that did not even speak to them, introduce themselves to them or nothing. And we was there for a homeless count, and homeless people walked in.
So these people are getting checks, I presume?
No. Homeless council, the neighborhood council is volunteer.
Okay, now people that were there didn't speak. Were they getting checks?
They kind of did, yeah. They kind of did.
They worked for somebody.
By the end of the night, once we had everything rolling, because we was on the phone with, if I'm not mistaken, Fabiola was on the phone with 211 or 311, whichever one it was. And she was on that phone call with them on hold for about 2 hours.
On hold
about 2 hours. But we didn't give up. Someone else went from Tim McOscar's camp and went and got the family food, McDonald's, which was right next door. And we was there all that time. The other people, went to go do what they was doing, a homeless count. And other than, we could say, the field deputies within 2 hours later, because it was known. You can look at them and tell. It's not even one of those things where they have to verbally say this. You can look and you can smell them, and then it's a little bitty boy there as well. So, the deputies did give their information. Another deputy from Ms. Bass camp did do some things to their business cards or whatever. But it was kind of, sad to see that it took for hours to go by for people to finally acknowledge it. And then the other thing was for the neighborhood council. None of them even acknowledged, introduced themselves, spoke to the people. Nothing.
Why do you care?
To make change. Why do I care?
Why do you care?
What a lot of people don't know is I was one of those kids that was at the church every weekend with my mom. You know, a lot of my school clothes up until we could say maybe like 10th grade, 9th grade came from the churches. So I was like one of those kids. So I care about it. I care about my community as a whole because of the different bad things that I was doing as a young girl that was toxic to the community. So as now I feel like I got to make up for it.
You weren't a bad girl. Ooh. You're too cute to be a bad girl.
You don't have anything to do with it.
Come on.
And I have anything to do with it, but I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I had a mom that was on drugs. I believe my mom just recently got drugs, like within the last couple of years. So I'm that kid that's in the house and you open the refrigerator or the freezer every day and it's only bread in the refrigerator. Like seriously, you know, but my grandma would cook every Sunday. We all went to church and I just know I was always hungry and never had conversations with my mom about anything to the fact where my dad passed away when I was 12. And me and her have never even had a dialogue about that. And I believe with me looking back and reflecting on myself, I believe that that's really was the turn of me being angry because no one was there to support me. I didn't have no support growing up from aunties or anything like that.
You know, every once in a while somebody says something. I can't answer another question because you throw me for a loop. Because that's some deep shit. I mean, that's deep. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cuss so much on my show. Steve, I see you out there. OG Steve, Easy Steve in the house. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the donation. It's amazing. Now I know you. I've been knowing you for quite some time. I know part of your story. I don't know your whole story. Okay. To know where you were and where you are is commendable. Don't leave me hanging.
Hey.
Okay. Anybody that makes a transition like that, I gotta support them. Because I know they're coming from the heart. They're not speaking. Ain't no money in this, okay?
No, and a lot of people think that, you know, like maybe I have support from whatever. No, these whole 2 years have been out of my pocket where sacrificing for my kids to do what keeps me up at night. You know, I'll be up at night thinking about these kids, thinking about people. It's been many a times that I'm like, I am not going to get up on a Saturday and continue to rent a U-Haul. That's anywhere between 80, or we'll say like 60 to 80 bucks every Saturday.
Okay.
To rent the U-Haul, to go pick up my food, to bring back to the building to give out. But when I'm in my mind, in my spirit, I'm like, I don't want to do this no more because I'm not getting the support or I'm not getting the recognition. It's not all about recognition.
Right,
but then again, it is for more resources to come and help the people that I feed every Saturday. But it's like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know for sure I have at least 7 families that depend on me to be there every Saturday.
Okay. So you got some motivation.
Oh, yeah. And then I'm actually on the ground doing the groundwork. You know, all the complaints that's going on in the community, I'm actually there every Saturday to hear it. You know, so I believe as chair, I can implement that to the neighborhood council because me being the chair, I will actually be an asset to the neighborhood council.
Now, I'm going to give it to you. When you win the chair, first 100 days, what you plan on doing?
Listening to the community and actually getting more of the community on the calls to be able to voice their concerns. Because right now we'll say if we were to have a neighborhood council call tomorrow, it may just be all the board members and not too many people actually from the community on the call. We need to get back into the community and have more events because, you know, I have events from Live Your Life anyway. Live Your Life is always doing events for the community, and it don't take for me to actually be a chair or actually be on the neighborhood council to do it because I was doing it before then. So just to implement and bring everything together, you know, it's like, for example, my homeless event that I had the portable showers to pull up. And I always talk about this is because I actually had homeless men crying, you know, like I haven't had a bath. And one dude told me in 4 months. And I'm sitting there and we take this for granted. Sometimes I take 2-3 showers a day, you know, and This is a grown man that's crying that he hasn't had a bath in 4 months, and baths before then wasn't hot baths, you know, and it was one or two, I think it was 2 kids that actually took a shower too that day. And that right there stands out a lot to me because I was able to get them a haircut. I had one of my friends to pull up the cut hair. You know, we had hot meals. We had the taco lady to pull up, the portable showers. And then I had so many comforters, blankets, and different stuff that was donated to me via Tim McOsker prior to him running or anything like that. He did come and donate to PCI, which I was able to get the comforters, the blankets, the pillows, everything. It was a lot of stuff, hygiene, different stuff like that. And I was able to give it to them. But you know me, I like talking to people. It's not one of those things where it's like, here, move out the way. I'm all in your face. Like, so how you feel? What's going on with you? You know, and I had men breaking down that you would not expect. And we're not talking about Latinos or just African-American. We're talking about Asian. All of them is just like getting very teary-eyed. And like, you really care about the community. Where I'm like, frog in my throat, like, oh my God. like y'all don't do that. And they're like, you know, I really appreciate it. They still come here and there. I had one that I haven't seen in months, and then he come back around. He was like, I was in jail, and I'm like, you can't be doing that. But the communication that I have with them, they actually listen to me and respect me, and that means more to me than a lot.
All right, tell us about Moma Boo, aka Nikisha Scott. How many kids you have?
I have 3 kids.
All right, married?
No, not yet.
All right. One of your daughters is in the Navy, right?
Yeah, Beyonce is actually.
You have a veteran in your life.
Yeah, she's actually running for District 5. Beyonce Bradford. She comes down here every other weekend or every weekend. She's actually stationed Lemoore, California. That's not too far from Fresno, so about 3 hours from here.
Okay.
She's moving closer to the Navy base up toward Ventura.
Okay.
So she'll be closer to us. And then Mr., which is my everyday person, like I be stressing Mr. out like every Saturday. So he's the person that's there every Saturday with me. And my biggest lesson with him is elders. You know, I don't want no older woman leaving here holding them bags going to the car. That's what you're supposed to do with your little muscles.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. And then Paul, you know, I moved him to Seattle, Washington, a little over a year, maybe a year and 4 months ago. So he's out there, you know, driving forklift or what have you.
Good.
All my kids got to do something. They gonna do something because, you know, I was a kid that couldn't read, couldn't write, couldn't do math all the way through high school. Like literally, y'all, my high school diploma is a lie. It's a lie because I did not meet the standards to actually earn that. And I actually really taught myself how to reading to my daughter.
And you got a college degree?
Yes. I have a bachelor in business now. So, you know, you guys, I got it together. But for 15 years, you know, I my job, I was a CNA. Good. So I took care of elders with Alzheimer's and dementia. I did that for 15 years before I stopped and started my own in-home care agency. Had that running for about 2 years. And then I switched to the nonprofit. The nonprofit was actually founded to mentor young girls at risk because I was one and I need to be to these young girls who I needed. So right now I'm actually working on MOUs with the local schools so I can go in and actually mentor the young girls. One of my MOUs is like maybe a week or so from being approved.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, so I'm working. I just look like this.
Well, how do you do what you got to do, take care of you?
That's maybe an issue. I haven't been taking care of me because Mr. runs me low. Mr. is active in football. Right now it's the off season for football. So Mr. is actually doing a 7-on-7. Okay. That's Mondays and Fridays and then games on Sundays. Then Tuesday, Thursdays, he's training for MMA. Okay. So my thing is just to keep him to where he's no teamwork. You know, is no I in team. So Mr., you know, he's a big part of Live Your Life now that I don't have the older two. Because Beyonce has actually helped me with the whole concept and everything with the Live Your Life. Like Beyonce is a founder, my baby founder to mostly everything I do.
You know, some of y'all may know this story. Some of y'all may not. This is our first time being on the show. This is the first time being as a candidate. First time, I think I saw her on another podcast at Anthony's Park. I felt some kind of way. How she gonna interview with that nigga for me? I'm supposed to be up. We wasn't even friends, tell you that. We wasn't even cool in yet, okay? No. Long story, but we ain't always been smarter than each other, okay? Long story, and these grins, when she see me sometimes just grit her too. I can't stand that boy. I ain't do nothing, but it's okay. I didn't do nothing, but sometimes the homie gotta take one for the homie, okay? Put it like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
When she told me a story, I saw her on the podcast. I called her up. She didn't want to talk to me at first, and when she realized that I wasn't what she thought I was, and I could actually give her some direction, we became friends. Not because I could help her, because she's just a cool person, and she realized I ain't the asshole she thought I was.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was one of those things where when you called me, it was kind of shocking. It wasn't like I was mad or anything, because I've been got over that.
Okay.
I would tell anybody with going to college and critical thinking, different stuff, you kind of think outside of the little box you grew up in.
Right.
So with me going to college, a lot of things that I put into perspective prior, it made more of a roundabout sense when you think of other people's position and why they possibly done it or whatever the reasons was, where you're being more transparent opposed to, stuck in your own ways or what have you. But I was surprised,
you know what? When she told me, I heard she had a nonprofit, and then I heard some of the things she said on her show. I'm like, I got to get her on my show. Mm-hmm. When she told me what changed her life, okay, that touched me. And we both Geminis. That's another thing. We both Geminis. So Geminis can be we like M&Ms. We hard on the outside. We soft on the inside.
They got multiple colors.
But we'll kick your ass.
Yeah. I mean, I fight for anything that I feel is right. No difference than what I'm doing right now. It's like, some people ask me as far as in, with the neighborhood council, I didn't get the position prior. And I'm like, well, it was a reason, so I just kept at it and implemented myself as far as in the chair of the bylaws, and then the vice chair of the homeless, and then on the youth board. So it was like, we're not going to make this total negative. I felt some type of way, but it's okay. Right. But the only thing that I do know is all of the votes were not counted that first time. So I'm just going to say it's a possibility I could have won. But at the end of the day, I didn't.
How many people are qualified to vote, eligible to vote in this election?
Anybody is qualified. You have to be in the district, where you have to be, within our district, as well as you have 14-year-olds that's able to vote as well. For the youth representative, they're able to vote, but we're having the actual vote April 1st, and that's going to be on 135th and Figueroa at the church. Okay. That's on the same side, but across the street from the shoe warehouse.
So you ain't got to register none, do you? You got to register to vote?
If you wanted to register to get the mail-in ballot, but that closed down on the 13th of this month.
So I just rolled through.
You have to come up there. You have your ID and proof of residency.
Okay, is my ID enough, or you need something else?
You have to have your ID and proof of residency.
With a car registration too?
Yeah. Well, no, you know what? I don't think that I would say whatever your bills or your utility bills or a bank statement or something like that.
All my bills come on the internet. I ain't print my bills out.
Just print something out that's current, and then bring your ID. But you're gonna be on the flyer anyway, because you're gonna be.
I'm gonna come out there and support it. All my folks are like, "What's up, Dusty?" See my boy Marlon in the house. Good luck. Good luck, Marlon. We got a neighborhood question for you. Do you know Cyclone Mike from Anthony Park?
We're not talking about that on this interview.
I miss that.
We're talking about the neighborhood council.
I know him. Good. Okay, she don't know him. I know him.
This is not the interview for that.
I know him. Okay, anyway. We are here with Moma Boo.
Yes.
AKA, Nikisha Scott, AKA Moma Boo, running for the chair for the Harbor Gateway
North Council.
City Council? Neighborhood Council. And this obviously means something to her. She's ran for it before. She's very active in the community. No doubt about that. Like he said, every Saturday off of Figueroa between 135th and 132nd, I believe it is.
It's between 130th and 132nd.
Okay, I know it's right over there in the area. She's out there passing out food, clothes, whatever the case may be. Hygiene. Spending her own money.
Yeah.
I'm
about broke, y'all. Nah.
Spending her own money to rent a truck every month to do this.
Every Saturday. And she has a passion for the community. Yeah. That is, to me, more important in some ways than somebody that's getting paid for the job. If you'll do it for free, out of love, out of care, out of passion, that carries a lot of weight with me. I feel I have to, because it's not no other neighborhoods where there's not no other nonprofits within the area that's consistent like that. So when the people are hungry, and I was the hungry kid. I was the kid that go in the refrigerator 10 times and it's still nothing there, because my mom chose to do drugs. You know, so that was my lifestyle growing up, where I had to fend for myself. So I would say about 10th grade or whatever, I got a boyfriend and started buying me shoes and clothes. But prior to that, no. So with me knowing how it was and feeling like I don't understand, you know, you hear your friends at school and, oh, me and my mama went to Knoxbury Farm, me and my daddy went to, I didn't go nowhere. You know, and it's some of these kids that the same thing. There's some kids in this community that has never been to the beach.
Wow. Yes.
The beach is just right down the street.
Right down the
basically,
street.
In any direction you want to go.
That's true. And I'm guilty. I just started going to the beach regularly myself. Not even to the beach. I go to the ocean and walk every Sunday.
That's it.
I can't stand sand in my feet, so I don't go to the beach. The beach ain't that tight. I don't do it. I'm not getting in the water, but I love the view of the ocean. So I understand. And as a grown man with a car, multiple cars, I just did not go see the water. And when you go see the water, it changes your whole emotional outlook. It just makes you, it calms you down, whatever you're dealing with, because that's a beautiful sight, and the waves, whatever it is, it works for you.
That's one of my goals, is actually get a van in this year, 2023, so I can load these girls up. You know, go to Big Bear for the weekend or something like that, where I can have more intimate conversations with them, because you have kids that is not going to tell you what's going on. They don't trust anyone, you know, but I'll know that I'm that person to actually get it out of them, because I'm talking to a little me, you know, so that's very, very big.
You know what? And that's important. That mentorship, that's important. You can't tell me what I need to know, what I'm going through, if you ain't been through it yourself.
Yeah. I have so many young girls that just call me crying over the phone, that I can direct them from being so disrespectful to their parents, because it's one of those things. It's a lack of, you know, and give them different little tools to work with, to where it's like, at the end of the day, you don't disrespect your grandmother, you don't disrespect your mom, or whoever the person is that's taking care of you. I don't care about your feelings, and certain things you just don't do. You know, you don't want to be being disrespectful, and then God want to punish you for that. You know, it's a lot of conversations that's not being had and not being said. And then another struggle that I have, I can sit and talk to a young woman until I turn blue in the face, but she's going back to that environment, you know? So it's more important for me to have a relationship with that grandmother, that grandfather, so I can tell you not what they're saying, but tell you what I think that you should do to change certain things. Because I can do all the work, but if they're going back to that toxic environment, it's like we got to start all over every time. It's all over.
Question. We got a new mayor in the city of LA, Karen Bass. She's going to put 4,000 homeless in homeless shelters, or put a roof over their head in the next few months. Have you had a chance to talk to her yet?
No, I haven't.
You haven't talked to anybody from office yet?
Well, I did speak with someone at that homeless camp.
Okay.
So I do have his card and everything like that, but I haven't talked to none of her peoples as far as in right here in my section.
What about Holly Mitchell?
I talked to her people a little bit more. Just my opinion. The neighborhood council need to come together as a collective and get all the information from the neighborhood to keep pushing the agenda. Because no difference than if we have 7 people that's randomly calling and being consistent. Well, not randomly, being consistent with calling. That's only 2 people, and it doesn't carry the same weight as if the neighborhood council is pushing for the fire hydrants or for the mobile homes to get up out of the community. It's a difference. And, you know, one got to be in position to actually be consistent. And that's me to make it happen. You know,
you heard it. Moma Boo's in the house, folks. Lakeisha Scott running for Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council. She wants to be the chair, folks. She got my vote. She got my vote. All right. Chat room is here. Let's see what anything we can use, because you know I'll be back with y'all later this afternoon.
Yeah, that'll be another interview. I can answer
for all the madness.
Interview, but
I see my boy. What's up? Time. What's up, Dusty? Marlon in the house. I'll be back with Dusty, Mike T, Deuce Times. Much love. He apologized for the question.
No problem.
Okay.
Problem.
See,
I know people be wanting to know. They hear, you know, where I'm from. They be like, oh, but I'm not doing it today.
Not today. Okay. All right. Marlon says good luck and congratulations and good luck, Moma Boo. Anything else you want to share with before you wrap up?
Yes, I would like to tell everyone that I need you guys to come out April 1st between 10, I believe it starts at 10 to 4 p.m. I will be there set up with the food as well.
Okay.
So
are you bribing people with chicken? You gonna bribe us with chicken or food?
It'll be a frozen one. It'll be a frozen one. I have my fruits and my vegetables and everything like that there.
Okay.
I have that.
Amen.
But yeah, I will be there as well, of course.
All right.
So, yeah.
We all live, folks. We are live with Moma Boo.
So if you won't change and you're in the community, only thing that I would say is you don't have to listen to what I'm actually saying. Look at what I actually do versus what someone else is actually doing. You can get somebody that's going to promise to do something, but what are they actually doing now?
Hey, it's very simple. Don't wait till the election to start the campaign. The campaign started a long time ago. Let your work speak for you. And she's doing just that, folks.
I'm from this community. I've been here. I tell my age. I'm 41, but I've been here about 36 years.
And I've been on it for 20 years. So, okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, folks. She's live with Lonzo and Moma Boo. Good luck, darling. I'll see you on April 1st.
Yes.
She is running once again for the chair of the Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council. Peace, folks.